Alright, how you going guys, and welcome back. This is JetSimmer here, and welcome back to another tutorial on the radio stack that we have here, the Tacn and the ILS, and how to set them up, and yeah, basically get it configured for flight. Alright, so you would have seen the setup of the Tacn. Alright, so this is very straightforward. If you are unfamiliar with Tacn, Tacn's a version of the VOR that the military use to find locations, whether it be an airport, another aircraft in the air, or boats out on the water, all that sort of stuff. So just think of that as the basics. I'm not going to get too much into it. It will probably confuse us. So just think of it as a VOR and just a military version of figuring out a channel. So basically, how did we figure out a channel? Now, we touched on the startup tutorial just before, that 75 Tacn. So if we come and scroll down here to 75, you'll see it as 112.8. And because we are on the X-ray side, it is the tens. It's in the tens on the decimal. If we were on the Yankee side, it'd be on the fives of the decimal. Okay, so as you can see, all the fives. Alrighty, so that's basically it, and then you just go ahead and turn it on. There is also a test for the Tacn right there as well. So you just take it, figure out a VOR or a Tacn for that particular airfield. Now, if you don't know how to find that, let me just quickly whiz over to Navigraph, and we'll swap that over there. And you'll see here, you'll have 122.8, and up the top is Tacn 75. Okay, you'll also find on an approach here, on the approach plate, you'll also see the ILS, RAF base BIS, that's the NDB, but you'll also see the Tacn right there as well. Alright, so that's another one. You probably also find the Tacn out on the sectors, so the Tacn Alpha sector, which is like northwest of the airfield right there. So you'll probably have like your training area out here, so the one Romeo 179, that's your training airfield, well, your training area, and all the way up, that sort of way up there, and then you'll probably have your Tacn Bravo sector, which is kind of out here northeast area, and as you can see, there's some more training areas out there. So your Romeo 153 Charlie, your Romeo 153 Bravo, 1153 Alpha. So more training area out that direction. So you'll find that around about 26 nautical miles away from the airfield, out to the northeast, on a radial of 259er. So if we did a reciprocal to that, you'd minus, I think it's your minus 200, which will be 59er, plus 20, which will be 67. So on a radial of 079er, you come out this direction. Once you hit the 26 mark, then you'll be out in the training area out here on the Romeo 153 sector. You also have Delta out there a little bit further away. So that kind of gives you an idea on the Tacans on that sort of stuff like that. And the same again on this side, like we had a look before. There's also the Pierce departures and all that sort of stuff. I think that's basically it. So just think of it as a just another VOR, just some sort of kind of thing. Now, if we actually go back to the map, you'll see here that it should pick up the Tacn as well, which is that little symbol there inside the VOR. It looks like a little, like a upside down, kind of similar to a nuclear symbol, kind of a weird looking symbol. Whereas here the VOR looks like a box kind of symbol. And down here at Perth, it's got like a little box in it. So you can tell the Tacans apart. They got like little whatever you want to call that shape. Whereas the VORs only have a box. So well done. So yeah, that's how you do that. The ILS is very simple. You turn the ILS on and you select the ILS. So again, we'll bring over the Navigraph and we'll select ILS. So you'll have to find your ILS frequencies on your charts. 175 ILS on a 110.7 India Papa Echo identification. So it was 110. So we're going to select 1. As you can see, the scratch pad already has a 1 scratched into it. So it's 117. Alright, decimal 7. Alright, so here's a little decimal there. So that is now the ILS setup for the runway. You can turn that off until you get in the air, but that's how you do that. And if we come up here, turn the ILS on, is that button there. And as you can see, it's not picking it up because we are not flying around. Now you would also have to select the course knob up there as well. You'd have to select the course for the 175 because that's just what we do in Australia. Even though you're landing on the runway 18 left, yeah, runway 18 left, yeah, it's actually heading 175 degrees. So that's just for more fine alignment. Okay. All right, and that's another thing. So with Tacn, if you want to be tracking the Tacn, you got to make sure you hit the Tacn in the screen. If you want to be tracking the ILS, you want to be hitting the ILS. Now, I believe if you want to be doing the ILS as well, you got to be on VOR. So if we just select the VOR, what was 112.8, 112.8 here, and if we select ILS, you'll see now we are tracking the ILS, the VOR, sorry, I've been saying that the last 3 times. If you want to track VOR instead, you got to make sure you're on the ILS frequency, with the ILS button. So now we're on VOR, but if you're on Tacn, you're on Tacn, same thing. As you can see, it hasn't changed. So that's how those two work. Alrighty, moving on to the radio stack. Now this is a little, very similar to any other. Now you've got your transponder up the top, so we're going to select TA on the ground, so TAC SV nav. We can also select it into a self-test mode, and we can have a real quick look. Now, I'm not 100% sure. I haven't gone through the modes like mode 4, mode 4 Bravo. Haven't gone through the hold or anything like that. So I just leave it on pull out. Now to change your frequencies, okay, and all that. So your M1 auto and M3 alpha auto. Now, basically you just change one of these. So that's how you change the frequencies. Once they are done, all you need to do is hit the left button and off it goes. Okay. So if you're given a frequency, that's how you do that. If you want to change the right frequency, left, or the right thing. Alrighty. Moving on, we also have different functionalities. So I believe this is, I'm not 100% sure what that functionality was there. I was hoping that would be like the clocks, like some sort of a clock. I thought that would be the clock, but it doesn't seem like that is the actual clock, because yeah, it's not 2400 hours at the moment. Alright, so there is a few different bits and pieces here. So the IFF has several function displays which can be, so the IFF SSR is some function displays that can be page selected in the function switch, which is this thing here. By default, mode 1, which you can see here, mode 1 auto and mode 3 alpha codes are displayed in the page shown. This page can be selected. This page shows the selected mode 1 transponder code on the left and mode 3 transponder code on the right. So mode 1 on the left and mode 3 on the right. So you might have 2 different frequencies. So in the simulator, MSFS has limited transponder compatibility and only civilian modes are supported. So mode 3 on the right code serves so only the mode 3 alpha right mode shows a purpose, although you can edit it both to simulate real-world operations. So you don't need to worry about the M1 auto. You only have to worry about the M3 alpha, in Microsoft Flight Simulator at this point in time. So you move the right stick to the right hand side and you'll be given, like, say, just a random frequency. So let's just, for the sheer sake of doing a Delta class airspace, you'll set it to 3000. You don't have to worry about the left hand side because it's not going to be utilized in this instance whatsoever. So position release mode 3 will begin to indicate, and then flashing and all that sort of stuff. Now the select the date and time page functionality on the down. Okay, so we're down on the date and time page. This page displays the current day, month, and UTC time. Okay, so we have the day and the month. So it's actually, this is how it reads. Okay, so it's the 24th of the 5th, and obviously we know it's 2020. And the UTC time is 0622. So that's how that is read. So right now it is, what is it, 4 p.m. in the afternoon here in Australia. The code will stop flashing, and that's basically it. So move the functionality down to the mode S flight ID page. So you move it down to the flight ID page. No. So move the functionality down twice more to select S mode flight ID page. Here you can set an alphanumeric flight ID with the S mode. Using S mode using the method for editing transponder tests. So you don't need the ACC. I don't know what this ACC is. It's pretty much not telling us what it is. But here's your flight ID, and this is what they were talking about. So you want to change your flight ID. You can have letters here, and you can have numbers here, or you can have numbers and no letters, whatever. So that's how you do it. So in what they've done is they've just writ just flight. So let's just do that. You can hold it down and it just clicks over until you find the one that you want. Now this takes a hell of a time. Okay, so we actually went past J. This takes a while to set this up. There we go, there's just flight. So if you want to go backwards, it'll take you back to U. And basically that's just how this works. We can actually set mode for alpha. Oh, there we go past. No, that was 0. Oh, there it is. And you get the idea. I'm not going to go through it all for you. But yeah, you can set your flight mode up. And that's if you want to do that sort of stuff. Refer to that section there. Refer to the IFF SSR selection of the manual. Information on the displays that are available. Alrighty, so the displays that are available. System provides the IFF blah 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 blah. Alrighty, so basically there's not a lot of stuff in functional. The next page we've got doesn't do too much. That's just the lighting system. Yeah, we don't need any of that. Okay, so basically that is it. This, I'm not 100% sure what this is. It could be possible to the, like some sort of special cell code or whatever. But we have our hold switches. So here we have hold. When set hold position, IFF's SSR transponder performs mode 4 hold sequence. So basically it's holding mode 4. Alrighty, so we're just going to leave it at 4 alpha. When set to 4 alpha, the transponder is enabled to reply in 4 alpha code alpha integrations. When it's set to B, it's code B integrations. And that's basically it. Pull release, pull erase, pull out, that one there. Transponder 4 mode alpha ACC codes are erased. So if we come over here, that'll be that thing there. But we don't use any of that, so it doesn't matter. So basically all you need to know is your time, your right hand side, which is just the right hand side there, which is just your transponder. You don't use the left hand side, you only use the right hand side. Mode 3 alpha. Into stopper flushing is that. Your time and that, you don't need that, and that's your flight ID. That's just something if you're going to be doing like role playing, whatever. Now in the real aircraft, you would obviously put this in, and if friend or foe would pick you up, and it will show that you're a friendly. So that's what the flight ID would be there for. It'll also be sent to the through the transponder to the tower, and it'll be like, oh, yep, that's who that person is. Okay, so that's basically it. When we're ready to take off, you'd switch it over to TARA, and off you go. Alrighty, so we don't really need anything more on the radio stack. It's pretty much straightforward. We've done the Tacn, we've done the ILS, and we've done the radio stack. Yeah, there's not much to this aircraft whatsoever. Apart from going on to the next one, the VHF. Now, there's some really cool things with the VHF here. So you have this little card here. Now, you'll notice that a couple of these are different. So, obviously, G stands for guard, and then you have all your frequency presets down the side. So, 1 all the way down to 20. You'll notice that I have 122.8, 123.75, 122.8, 118.000, and every other one is 118.000 as well. So, okay. So, what does that mean? Well, all that means is I've set a preset. So you can basically go through the whole thing. So preset 1 is 122.8. Okay. So I want to set, maybe I want to set the frequency for the Melbourne center, which will be 2. So how to do that? We come through here and we select the manual. So that will be preset and that will be manual. So we set the manual, right? So 122.8. Now what I want to do is select just a random frequency. So let's just go 325. Okay, 325, and then we'll hit enter and we'll swap it over the top. But I want to select this into a channel. So let's go and put it in channel 3. Why not? So now it's on store channel 3, and we hit enter. So if we have a look up on the card here, you'll see on channel 3 is now 132.500. So if you're planning a flight in this particular aircraft from point A to point B, and there's a whole bunch of towers and centers in between you and there, or you're on a particular airfield the whole entire time, and you want, so like, for example, Perth, what we could do here in Perth, since the Hawks in Australia, they fly around Perth at 79 Squadron, I believe, and 76 Squadron. We could go to Navigraph here, that I've still got up on screen. Probably should have got rid of that. I totally keep forgetting to do that. But you can come over here and you can see, okay, REFPOS Pierce Tower is 118.3, ground is 127.25. The CTAF for the airfield is 118.3 as well. Okay, so if you're trying to do it realistically, you would do that. So if that's the case for this particular airfield, CTAF 118.3, but since not a lot of players in multiplayer would know that CTAF is 118.3, you just use the frequency for 112.8. Now, as a rule of thumb, the ground should be obviously the first one. Likelihood of you talking to ground is not gonna really fly. So we'll just do 118.3. Now approach is also 130.2. So all we can do there is we'll go and select those. So approach will be 130.2, I believe. Yeah. So we'll do that. So we'll chuck those. Oh god, what's going on? Come down here. There we go. Alrighty, so we're gonna go. What was it? 130, and then we'll bring it down to 2, and we'll select that into the. That's not the one I wanted. There we go. I think that's what it was. Yes. Okay. And then we're going to put this into 3 again. So again, we go over to menu, we go to channel, we're going to go select 3, and then we'll hit enter. And then we'll do 118.3, I believe it was. 118.3, exactly. And we'll select that into the end there, and then we'll make that channel 2. So store that, and now it's stored. So what happens now? How do we get out of those things? So as you can see, we have the tower on 2, the approach on 3, and then obviously you could have like your centers that are around the airfield as well. So how do we get into it? You go to preset over here, and then you just select the radio frequency that you want. Simple as that. Simple as that. So you set your frequencies up, and then you move. Okay, so first, if you're not talking to the tower, and you're just talking to the aircraft on the ground, you'll use your Unicom, and then when you, if the tower comes online, you'll switch over there. But when you depart, if there's departure or approach, you'll switch to that, and you'll be like, yeah, hey, I'm airborne, I am leaving, and then just say, for example, that was the center. They'll be like, how you going, Melbourne Center, blah blah blah, I'm leaving here, blah blah blah. So that's how you do those. That's how the preset works on the radio. Alrighty, so you really don't need anything else. I'm not 100% sure how these other ones work here. That's guard. So these are your 2 guard ones. I'm not too sure what those are, and your manual presets. Now you don't need your guard on this one, because we have on the left-hand side the guard over here. Okay. Alrighty. Now I'm going to show you a real quick thing in this aircraft that not a lot of people know. Okay. So on this side, you have the same sort of thing. So you don't really need that. Okay. So you got that one. Under here, there's another little button that's disappearing. Here is your clock. So if you're doing any radio navigation sort of stuff with, say you need to go 5 minutes from a Tacn or whatever, you go on that heading or whatever. There you go. You just click that and you'll be like, oh, okay. So that works in seconds, and then off you go. And then you can reset the clock. So that's how you can do a timepiece in this aircraft, okay? You don't have to worry about, so that it's hiding in the back here. So if you're doing like time calculations and all that sort of stuff out in the airfield, out flying, you don't have to like look down at a phone or get Google up or anything like that. There's a little clock in the aircraft that will do just that for you. I hope that has gotten rid of any questions about how to use the radios, setting up ILSs and all that sort of stuff. We'll actually go on in the air and test some of that out and show you how things work in the Hawk in the air. Alright, thank you very much. This has been another longish tutorial, and hopefully we can shorten these ones up in the future. Thank you very much, guys, and see you later.